I started off this morning remembering that depending on which calendar you follow, and there's plenty of information on the calendars. Some have like an Enoch calendar. They'll call that the Enoch calendar. Apparently, when the temple was destroyed, the governing spiritual factions within the Israelite society decided to change the calendar, and so they have another calendar, and then of course we have the Gregorian calendar. So according to one of these calendars, this is a jubilee year, and I didn't have much to say about it. I was like, well, I mean, I can imagine it and appreciate the beauty of it. It's a year. No planting, no, the land gets its break. And then throughout the day, I got little hints and clues. What keyed my interest was a video entitled "Stop Leaking Your Gifts." And as I started to watch that one. I haven't finished because this came up. Another notification came up, how to balance your gifts. Like, oh. And the Jubilee year wasn't just a year of rest for the land. So your storehouses should have been filled in preparation for this year. It's not only that, it's that land that had basically been let out to pay off debts and stuff gets returned to its owner, the rightful heirs of that land. And also, you get to return to your state of being a free man. So one Israelite could turn themselves into an indentured servant to pay off a debt, or whatever the reason was. But it was only until the year of Jubilee. And mayhaps because, and I could say this is probably definitely for sure in my case, and I hope I hope this is a year of Jubilee for me. We may have become indentured servants into a more demonic plot because we were ignorant about the way, the truth, and the light. And the keeping of the Sabbath, the Sabbath, as well as other things. There's always a whole host of other things that go with that. Not observing it is what gets us into sinful and death-wielding situations. Kids leave, marriages end, blah, 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 because we're not obeying and respecting the Sabbath, Shabbat. And so, if we're going through a whole lot of self-realization, like to be freed of indentured servitude, because some say you cannot sell your soul. It is not yours to sell. It's been bought at a price. So, it's indentured servitude, and it's time to renegotiate. It's time to go back to your inheritance, and it must be true. So, if it seems like really rough right now, and maybe feel like we're being picked on. I don't feel like I'm being picked on because I've been self-examining, but without heavenly help for so long, I'm just used to asking myself, what's what's stopping this? So maybe we're coming to some hard truths about ourselves, but that is only to liberate us so that we don't have to go back into indentured servitude to forces and principalities and families and congregations that really don't like us. 'Cause that sucks. It really does. So, if we don't want to be thrown into such circumstances, then we go through it. We eat crow. We do whatever we have to. We admit, we wail, we cry. Through this process, I swear it feels like my guts are being torn out of me. But again, I got used to that over the years. I just had that far to come. And that's another thing that was brought to my attention while I was reflecting on this. I remember having a conversation with a guy, and he's a fantastic networker and builder, and he's always the second man in charge of any organization that he's a part of. And he's just very lost. But I would give him a ride certain places when I was going in town and stuff like that. And we'd get in conversations. And I told him one day, I was like, I mean, he had it bad, not only serving in the military, but falling off of a roof or something, like breaking his spine, all his bones in his legs. And I mean, he had it bad. My life, physically, I've had surgeries and stuff, but, you know, when I was younger, like, nothing could break me. Never a bone. I'd fall out of a 3-story tree and nothing. And I told him, I said, well, at least you're the war hero. You're the veteran. People make allowances for that. Me, I became aware of my soul being contracted out for 5 girls, for 5 men, that hate women, a son, and you're done. That's what I was contracted. Now to the world, and going into maybe looking for a congregation of like-minded people, like-hearted people. Normally when you go into, like, you want to go into a congregation in Christendom, there's going to be those that are judging. Oh, you know, like the question came up, would I remarry? I'm like, I would have to search the scriptures on that one, because do I qualify as a widow? I don't think any of them are dead. It's like, the first one I would have stayed with, I was devoted to, I fell in love with, especially as I began in earnest my search for God and the truth about God. But he didn't want anything to do with it. He didn't want anything to do with it at all. So, you know, I got rejected as a wife, I guess. Where does that put me? That puts me, as far as I know, in you ain't never get married in the system of things, honey. And there's no marriage in heaven, so you done. And there goes that dream of just having that one child created in love and raised in love. Like, I gotta give that dream up. You know, that's just not gonna go. It's not gonna fly. But like I was telling him, everybody's gonna make allowances for the veteran and any emotional and mental difficulties and challenges that go with it, and the physical challenges. And as far as they're concerned, you're entitled to Social Security, disability, whatever. And people will stand and they will fight for his right to have those things. I'm a veteran of a different war. And that's not a war that the side I was put on elicits a whole lot of support and compassionate understanding for. So I will hopefully be freed from that. Having that, like, when people ask me, oh, are you married? Don't ask me that question. Just don't. There you have it. A jubilee year may not feel as liberating as we think it should. But it is. It's liberating. And you sing and you dance far more freely when it's done. I know that one from experience. Got ripped. It's lighter inside. There's room for more spirit and joy.